Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I was attempting to do the Hollywood walk, do my normal walk down Lancashire, do the video, all type of thing. When I left the house, it was dry. Now, we're looking at this bull crap again. I am so sick of this. Every 3 days, we get this. Every 3 days, bro, this is horrible. Like, this ain't even reasonable. There's more water than usual. And yeah, I'm about sick of North Hollywood weather, man. Every 2 days it seems like it's raining, and it's been like that for a couple weeks now. And you just want to get the hell up out of here, go to Hollywood where it's probably raining just as bad, probably raining, but not flooded waters. They need to do something about these damn streets over here, man. But yeah, man, I had a good morning. Like I said, it was dry when I was considering leaving the house. When I stepped out, it wasn't no rain. But I started looking up and seeing the rain clouds, and the further I went down Lancashire, the more rain I ended up running into. And it was like, all right, if I see a bus, I'm headed back. I'm not even gonna do this. And so that's what's happening right now. This is me. I only left the house like maybe 35-40 minutes ago at the most. Walked a little bit, but I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I got up this morning. Last night I did pretty good. I actually was very pleased that I went to sleep early, really early. Woke up at like midnight and then proceeded to listen to the latest playlist I did, which I was telling you guys about 2 days ago, the jazz one. Seeing how that turned out and made a couple pieces of art. And then woke up this morning and did a few more. Did about 8 more pieces. So today's been an art day, and when I left the house, I was feeling a little stuffy. I was like, man, I just need some fresh air. Let me just go do my walk thing. It wasn't past 1 o'clock, so I was thinking, if I just go do my walk, it'll be the same type of schedule as it usually is. I don't usually leave the house any earlier than midday anyway, around 12 anyway. So yeah, man, this was me thinking I was gonna make that trip, but it was not meant to be. It started raining so hard, it was like, yo, let me turn around, bro. But found some things I liked, man. I went to the Ralph's nearest the Target I go to on Sunset, and they were selling blackberries and black grapes. And I never had black grapes, but I tried them, and that was fantastic. I ended up adding that to my list of things that I want to continue to eat. And blackberries, and then I bought some cream of wheat. Try to give myself a different texture of breakfast cereal, since the oatmeal had been giving me trouble lately, and that was amazing. It was absolutely, that was the best breakfast I've had in months since I've been on this side of town, maybe. So it was good to have that contrast this morning. So yeah, man, that's really what it is. Nothing too special, just in my creative zone, and probably should have stayed myself in the house. But at the same time, when saying that, I really am happy I got some air. Get a little exercise, nothing too serious, but just enough to get the body flowing. Of course, we got the Laker game tonight. I encourage everybody to check out the Laker game video that I made upon waking up this morning, preparing us for the Lakers versus Kings matchup, which is an extra serious matchup for my squad this night, 7:30. And just dealing, man. You just think it can't get no worse over there in Gaza. You don't think you think you've seen the worst of it, and then you see something that tops everything you've seen so far, which is unbelievable. But it was a mother who had came home to find that her house had been crushed and her kid was in there, and you heard her screams and her hysteria when she had came home. They hadn't found his body. Then you see another footage a couple hours later, after I finished doing all my art. They showed the follow-up video of they had found her son dead, and more of her family members too. And the shrills that came out of that woman, and the way that she fainted when she saw his body, the type of stuff that you consider when looking at people who are ignoring the calls for ceasefire like we're just some petulant children who aren't smart enough to realize that we shouldn't be disrupting the adults. So like when I see stuff like that, it helps me understand just how demonic the culture that we live under actually is. when these people, or even more so, how slavery and the various different things that this country has benefited from was able to be done because of spirits like that who run our country, who support those who run our country, and ultimately make our country the terroristic place that it is for so many other people in other countries. This is a horrible place with horrible people, and I'm just going to be completely and utterly honest about that. Horrible place with horrible people, and that's what I've come to understand. It's not harmless here, and this is ridiculous. This is not even doable. You see what I'm walking in, the water I'm walking in. I gotta catch a bus or cross the street somehow. See how I can get across the street. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but you know, it just speaks to what it is that's wrong with this world, man. When you see stuff like that, when you see just exactly what this country is made of, and the people that co-sign the atrocities that we have benefited so very much from, that's exactly how they treated abolitionists. That's exactly how they treat anybody who speaks against the normalcy of their terrorism and the selfishness of their desire to see others suffer so that they can live comfortably. And that's what I want to say, man. It's demonic. I don't co-sign it. I don't like it no more than I like this piece of water, this drop of water on my camera. It's I know that these individuals are used to getting their way. They were raised to do this. They were raised to believe that they have a right to take from others so long as they continue to align with one another. They have a right to break their own laws and do things to people that they would not allow anyone to do to them without complete and utter warfare. And so for me, it's just like I'm here, but I also know that the only reason why I'm here is because people lived that way in the past and thought it was fine to do to my people what they're doing to the Palestinians, or worse in some cases. You know, so it's like I stand with all of the resistance against genocide all over the world. I stand with the resistance against the normalcy of treating human beings horribly in any walk of life, and the unwavering focus that the resistance has to ignore the gaslighting, to ignore the poor culture of allowing such to happen, the redirection of definitions of words so that it can be allowed for such to take place. All of that is what I stand against. I don't care for them trying to define evil as people who stand in the way of their evil, and the notion that we can do whatever we want because we're the strongest, and that is something that should be upheld going forward. I don't stand for any of it. I'm with the resistance to all of it, and I want people to know that as I lived, I spoke against all of this for which the powers that be tried to make normal, as women like the mother I saw today have to suffer the ills of what they consider to be sophisticated and necessary. It's awful. It's beyond awful. It's a nightmare. And it's a nightmare that they are fine with enacting upon others so that they can have what they want, live how they want, and fulfill their dreams. And I think that they are the cancer of the earth. All Zionists and those who stand with Zionists on this type of behavior, those who want to mimic Zionists in the future and do what they've done, you are why the world is such a terrible place for so many people. And the world is a much better place if you aren't on it. And that's what I want to say to all the Zionists out there who are continuing to allow this type of stuff to happen, co-sign this type of behavior, redirect focus from the truth of what it is that they're ultimately trying to accomplish so that they can have the final results of that for which is ugly and the necessary evil they believe that they can engage in because they have the right to be white, which is what it ultimately is in a lot of cases, white supremacy. and the practices of destroying everything around it so that it can build what it chooses to the betterment of its own intentions, which is ultimately confusion for a lot of us who are trying to live our lives righteously but have been raised in this horrible place. So that's what I have to say, man. Obviously, because that's how bad it's flooded in this area. But you know what I mean? I just wanted to get that out, man. I guess that's why I'm out here. I guess that's why the Lord put me in this position today to be dealing with this type of nonsense. Because at the end of the day, it's needed to be said, man. Even if it was under these circumstances, even if it's under the circumstances of complete and utter flooding, the Lord made it very clear that He wanted me to come out here, and I think it was because this video needed to be made. So now I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get around all of this, because I need to go that way to get where I'm going, whether I like it or not. And that ain't nothing to walk in, man. That ain't nothing to walk in. So yeah, we'll figure it out. And I know that water is flowing all the way down the other side of the street. So even if we try to walk all the way down this way, we're gonna just find that flooding all the way down there. It's just a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So yeah, man, that's what I want to say to everybody. Free Palestine. This flood, I would walk through 100 of these to free one of those children. I'll tell you that right now. This would not be something that would stop me from speaking the truth, just like it's not right now. There's no reason for us to be co-signing genocide or the proposal of close to genocide. If they don't want to call this a genocide for whatever numerical reason, doesn't matter to me. You don't get to kill 30,000, 45,000. That's the last I checked. 45,000 people. They done upped it 1,500 people over the last, 15,000 people over the last month or so. Yeah, I think it's about 15,000 people they've killed over the last month. A couple hundred last night. Like, they're not slowing down. They don't give a damn. They're leveraging people's lives away by way of their political norms. And I think all of them deserve what comes to murderers in this world. Whatever y'all deem is fit for these murderers is exactly where these politicians and these Zionists need to be. If that's the chair, put them in it. If that's jail for the rest of their life, find a cell for these assholes. But that is exactly what they deserve. That is exactly what justice looks like. And that is exactly what I hope to see in my lifetime. For all of them. For all of them. For everybody anywhere that is in a governing position that stood by and let this happen, that co-signed this, that funded this. You all of you, deserve capital punishment for the suffering of the people that you murdered, that you enacted terrorism against. And that is something that needs to be understood. There is no justice without that type of outcome. So people are clear. A ceasefire is not justice. The people who did this and the people who co-signed this getting the capital punishment that all the rest of us would get if we did it is the justice that needs to be given out in this world. And I don't know who's holding these people accountable for making that a real thing, but that needs to happen. That needs to happen, and it needs to happen in this lifetime. My name is BDF 44. I thank you all for watching, and I'm out.